What's up, guys? It's Silver Seeker, and I hope you're excited for a fun one today. We have some 90% constitutional silver to go through, but take a look inside of the box, guys. We have Barber Dimes, we have Walking Liberty half dollars, there are quarters in here. And what I'm going to tell you about this box is it was a recent local pickup. I've had it for a few days. I haven't had a chance to go through it, but what I will tell you is before I bought it, I did get the opportunity to kind of rifle through it, move the coins around, see what kind of stuff was in there, but I didn't go through it and look at it coin by coin. So like I said, there's Walkers, there's Barbers, there's Standing Liberty quarters. We have all sorts of stuff to go through. This box right here I paid a little over $500 for, and I'm excited to get to go through it with you guys. So we're gonna cut this thing open and have some fun. And yes, the tape I just put there for dramatic effect, of course. Guys, let's go ahead and cut this thing open. And by the way, don't forget, if you are new here, to subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out, and I appreciate it. Down below, make sure you are subbed. All right, so here we go, guys. Take a look at this. Like I said, I only got to do this when I originally bought it. I didn't get to go through it, coin by coin. But as you can see, oh, look at this. This one's coming out. So some of these aren't even stapled. Huh. But you see what I'm saying? Take a look at that. How cool is that? We have a lot of stuff to go through. Let's pour it out, and we're going to sort it, and I'm going to show you guys what we find. Oh, yeah. I just hit the camera as well. That's why it's shaking. And that's what we have, guys. Very, very cool. This one came out. That was probably the one that wasn't stapled. We'll take a look at that. So we have a 1941 Walking Liberty half dollar. So you guys don't want to watch me do every little step of this. So I'm going to go through and sort them a little bit and let you know what I find really quick. But yeah, I'm really excited to get in here to see what we actually have. Every time I find something cool, I'll just kind of cut you in. But we're going to sort this out. We're going to take a look, see if we have any better dates, if we have any really nice Barbers, because you can see we got a lot of Barber Dimes. We have some Standing Liberty quarters. Hopefully we have something really cool. Hope you guys are excited for this one. This is awesome. Let's go. All right, so I started sorting, and I will tell you one thing I didn't know. It's not all 90%. We do have a 1968 40% Kennedy there. So, that's unfortunate. Hopefully we have mostly 90, though. I didn't want to see 40% in here. I thought this was all 90. But we're going to keep going. Hopefully it's not, a lot of 40%. All right, let's keep sorting. All right, well, we found our first better date Barber Dime, but unfortunately this Barber Dime is very warped. Take a look at that. We have a 19010. Which is a better date. Even in low grades, it values a little bit higher than your average one. But when it gets into higher grades, for example, a 19010 could be worth 4 or 5 times as much as a common date at MS60. Unfortunately, this one is not going to qualify, but it is a 19010, so we'll take it. Let's keep looking. And just like that, the very next thing I picked up, look at this. We actually have a seated half dime. Unfortunately, somebody really messed this one up. It looks like they put some zigzag scrapes into it. It looks like it's an 1860. 1860 is a common date for seated dimes, but it's still a seated dime. And that is really, really cool. It's not going to be worth a whole lot. What's unfortunate is actually condition-wise, this is really nice. But someone really scraped into it. So because of that, it completely ruins the condition. But that is cool. We actually have a seated half dime right there, which is, that's a neat find. Even though because of the damage, it's not really worth much. All right, let's keep looking. All right, guys, take a look at this. Now, we have a Standing Liberty quarter here. As you can see, it is completely worn flat. But take a look here. See that eagle? That eagle is really low above $quarter. So that is a Type 1 Standing Liberty quarter right there. We have no idea what the date is. Actually, we do. So one way you can actually tell what the date is on a Type 1 Standing Lib quarter, if it doesn't, if it's too worn down to see the date, is this actually has a mint mark. That's an S mint mark. So there was no 1916 S. There was only 1916 Phillies. So this is a 1917 S Type 1 Standing Liberty quarter. Now in this grade, it wouldn't really be worth a whole lot. At G4, which this one is not even G4. This is like a G2. But at G4, these are worth about 10, 15, maybe 20 bucks. In this grade, I wouldn't give it more than scrap value. But that was cool. We're going to put that in our pile of dateless Standing Liberty quarters. That's how I've been sorting those. Dateless and dated right there. And keep on going. But hey, we have a Type 1, so that's really cool. All right, let's keep going. All right, so I want to bring you back in just because this 1930, although 1930 Standing Liberties are a common date, it's actually really nice condition. I'm not 100% sure what that green is going on over there. But actually, it's quite nice condition for a 1930. For any Standing Liberty, I should say. That's really, really nice. So I just wanted to bring you in and show you that. That one actually is one I'll put aside. That one has a little bit better condition than what I would normally put in scrap. So we're definitely going to keep that one in its own pile. But we still have a lot to go through. As you can see, we are starting to get the pile sorted. We have some Walking Liberties here. We got a 42, 45. I'm not sure what this code is. Look at that, $3 on that thing. How cool is that? Man, I wish I could buy these for $3. Man, back in the day, right? Anyway, I will bring you guys back in next time we find something. Let's keep going. All right, take a look at this. Now, I will be honest with you. I knew this was in the box because I saw it when I was rifling through it. But you can see we have an 1875 Carson City, and they wrote on here mint mark inside the wreath. They had this marked at $6.50 and then at $2. I'm assuming the $6.50 was marked later on it. But obviously we know where the CC is on these, but there you go right there. Take a look at that. That is a Carson City seated Liberty dime. That is really, really cool. So even though that thing's in really low grade, I mean, we're going to call it, it's below G4, okay? But it's really neat. We do have a Carson City seated Liberty dime in there. I didn't want to spoil it and tell you until I found it, but I knew it was in there. Either way, really, really cool. Let's keep going. Okay, I had to bring you back in to show you this, even though like it's a 26. It's not a big deal. See right here, it says reverse scratch. Look at that. Who does stuff like that? The beautiful coins. That is unfortunate. That being said, this is only going to be scrap anyway. 90% constitutional scrap. It's not going to be, an actual collector coin, but still, who's going to do that? And what I've been doing, guys, by the way, is I've been leaving the Barbers, the Barber Dimes aside. I've been getting the Walkers out. I've been getting the Standing Liberties out because I know those values off the top of my head better. I know which ones are better, which ones are worse. Of course, I've been sorting the Kennedys as well. Unfortunately, we have found so far 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 40% Kennedys. So like I said, I thought this was all 90, but it's looking like it's mostly 90. So I still think what I paid, we are good to go. So let's keep on hunting. Once I'm done with the Standings and the Walkers, I'm going to get into the Barbers. I'll get that part of the gray sheet up just to make sure I don't miss anything. Let's go. Okay. I did not know this was in here. Unfortunately, it's not going to do much for us. Oh man, that is unfortunate. Look at the details on this, everyone. No way. So we have ourselves an 1853 seated Liberty Quarter that literally was a piece of jewelry at one point, maybe part of a bracelet. You can see you have a hole in the top and the bottom, which means a cord or maybe a chain or some piece of jewelry went through this to make it a display piece. But it was in such good shape. Look at that. You still have full lines here on the shield. Oh no. Oh no. This thing was like an AU. We have an AU 1853 seated Liberty Quarter that someone drilled holes in. Oh, that breaks my heart. No way. As you can see, we are still getting through the pile, though. We have more to look through. We're almost done looking through, getting the Standing Libs and the Walkers out. Here we got a 34, actually. And then we will continue going. Oh, no, that's a heartbreaker. No way. All right, I'm bringing you back in. Take a look. We have another seated Liberty piece. And it looks like it didn't go all the way through, but someone started to drill a hole through the head. There's also some scrapes going down the front of it here. Yeah, take a look at that. So another seated Liberty half dime. But this one is, yeah, that's really, really bad. That is super circulated. And someone attempted to at least partially drill a hole into the head. And they didn't actually go all the way through. No, I don't see any mint mark on it, but that is actually our second seated Liberty half dime. And we are now starting to pile the Barbers up because we're going to start going through the Barbers. So I'll bring you back in just a second. All right, so take a look. We have a 1900S. Now I have the gray sheet open. The 1900S, like most of the S's, is worth a little bit more. It's not worth a ton more, but at least it's worth a little bit. There's no letters, it looks like, visible on Liberty on her headband there. No, there's no letters of Liberty visible on the headband, so obviously really low grade, about a VG-ish. And yeah, so either way, it is an estimate. I think most of the estimates are worth a little bit more. We're going to keep looking, though. We've already went through just a few and see if we can find anything that's really good. All right, take a look at this. This is a nice-looking 15S, and we do have... not really. Never mind. I take that back. But we do have a 15S. I was about to say we might have a little bit of Liberty in the headband there, but I looked at it under a loop and no dice. Either way, 15S. This one looks really nice. 15S is a little bit better of a date. At G4, these are $8, whereas a common date's $3.75 in the gray sheet. And then going up a little bit, it goes $14.28, whereas a common date would go 4, then 5 on the grading scale. So definitely a little bit better of a date. This 15S right here. Definitely going to put that one aside. Very cool. So we'll put that aside with our other one that we found so far, and we will keep going. All right. So here's another one. This was actually on top of the other pile. I didn't even notice it. But we have a 19060. So heavily circulated, definitely no Liberty left. It doesn't even look as good as our 15S. But 060, I'm looking at the gray sheet right now at G4 is 6, and then it goes straight to 16 at VG8. So it's a little bit better than your common date. We're going to put that one aside as a slightly better date, but not bad. We have found 3 slightly better coins out of the Barber Dimes that we have looked through so far. The rest of these we're going to call regular constitutional Barbers. Barbers usually get a little bit more, but we're going to call them regular constitutional Barbers. Okay, so we found another S mint. This one's a 1911S. So not bad. I mean, circulated as well. Very flat on the obverse. But still, we'll take it. 1911S, another S mint, worth a little bit more, and we'll put that up here with our keepers. All right, here's another one that's slightly better, but it's so circulated, it's almost hard to put this into our keeper pile. We have a 19020. These right here at G4 are $5 on gray sheet. whereas a common date is 350 at this grade. That being said, this one may not even be G4. The rim is damaged over here. I'm going to keep that in our non-keeper pile, but it is a slightly better date, so I wanted to share that with you. We have 2 more to look at. Let's just do them together. We have a 1911 Philly, and finally a 1906. Okay, and our last one. You probably like, Seeker, you set that up, but no, I didn't. So we do have another 19060, and this one right here, you know, didn't we have another one? Yeah, so we have 2 19060s. And it looks like the one on the right definitely has more detail. So the one we just found is a little bit nicer. I don't see any letters of Liberty there, but it definitely has more detail. So we have found a slightly better 19060 right there. All right, and with that said, last up is Barber Quarters, so we'll try and do this together. I have the sheet up. This is a 1909D. So in 1909, you could get a Denver or an O mint mark. Let's just double check, make sure it's not an O that was mistaken. Nope, that is definitely a D, unfortunately, because the 19090 is worth quite a bit more than a 1909D. Here we have an 05, and you can't see the mint mark. An 050 or S is better. Actually, all the 05s are a little bit better, so we'll keep this in the keeper pile, but look what happened here. There's no way to tell what the mint mark was, even an 05 Philly. And by the way, I want to tell you something while we're doing this. Whenever you're doing staples on 2x2s, if you guys have ever seen me staple 2x2s before, always smash down the prongs. You see this right here? It makes them so hard to deal with. You can get yourself a little pair of smashy pliers, is what I call them. Just a little pair of pliers, and smash down the prongs whenever you do a 2x2. Smash down the prongs of the staple, please. And get a low-profile stapler as well. That's what I have. All right, we'll put this one aside. All right, let's keep on going. So we have this small one here. We have a 1911 Philly, which isn't any better of a date. This one is in its own 2x2, or a small 2x2, I should say. A 1915D. Let me scroll down in the sheet. 15D is common. Again, I don't have the quarters memorized like I do, like standing libs and all that, or the Barbers, I should say. So we have a 1905 Philly. So like I just said earlier, the 05s are all a little bit better dates. Unfortunately, this one is a Philly and not a O or an S. And then we have a 1911 Philly. And finally, right here, this one to have G/AG on it, 19020 at $2. And yeah, that one is yeah, pretty gone. So let's go ahead and do a wrap up and show you what we did find in today's hunt. All right, so I have it sorted out. We'll take a look. So we got 28 Walking Liberty half dollars. Now, all of our Walking Liberty half dollars were definitely common date, but that is still 14 face. We got 10 at 90%. Oh, I'm sorry, we totally forgot about this. And I totally forgot about this. It was sitting in the background. I also found this in the pile. This is a Roosevelt dime from Littleton. Okay, so let's change that. 29 Walking Liberty half dollars. We had 10 Kennedy 90% silver half dollars. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Roosevelt half or dimes if you count the Littleton one, which we should. We had 11 Standing Liberty quarters that had dates. And this is the stuff that I'm just putting, you know, I'm considering constitutional. I'll show you my keep pile in a second. We have 13 Standing Liberty quarters without dates. We have 34 common Barber Dimes. We have 5 common Barber Quarters, 7 40% half dollar Kennedys, which again, I didn't even know were in there. And then for our keepers today, we ended up with this 1917S, and we know it's a 17 because it has an S mint mark. There was no mint marks in 16. We got this really nice 1930 Standing Liberty quarter. I thought that one was in really good shape. We are definitely going to keep the Seated Liberty Dimes, even though this one has a little hole in the head at 1841. This one is a Seated Liberty half dime that's been absolutely gouged into oblivion. That is unfortunate because, as you guys know, my favorite design of U.S. coins, of classic U.S. coins, are Seated Liberties. We have an 1875 Carson City Seated Liberty dime, which is a very cool find, even though it's super worn. This one breaks my heart because, again, Seated Liberty is my favorite classic U.S. Coin. Whether it's a dollar, half dollar, quarter dime, it don't matter to me. Half dime, yeah, that is actually very unfortunate. In fact, let me tell you guys really quick. I'm going to look it up and tell you what this would be worth without the holes in it at this grade. Yep, this sinks. 1858 at AU50 without the holes, of course, is gray sheets for $150 and obviously retails for even more. But we are going to keep that, of course. And then we found, we looked at these, but we found a few better date Barber Quarters and some better date Barber Dimes, which you guys saw, for a total of $1.95 face value on those. So there you go, guys. That is our hunt today. We've got some really cool finds. Like I said, the seated stuff was really cool, even though every one of them had problems. We got a lot of constitutional. We got a lot of walkers, which I'm really excited to have. I'm going to have to take these out of the 2x2s and get them in my bag along with the Kennedys. We're going to get the Barbers out of these 2x2s. We're going to keep the stuff here. We'll probably put them in new 2x2s. Because these are old and dingy, and again, I don't like these staples. I prefer, if you guys have ever seen me staple, I always use low profile staplers and I always smash them down, so I want to get them out of here. But that's what we have, guys. I hope you enjoyed the hunt. Really, really cool hunt, a lot of cool stuff, and I'm glad I have it. I'll put it to good use. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor, like I said earlier, don't forget to get on below, like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And with that said, I'll see you next time, and thank you so much for watching.